Happy November, gamers, and while the spooky month may be over, Digimon Ghost Game continues to surprise, shock, and scare? Do love me some alliteration. And on today's video, I'm going to be breaking down 10 things you might have missed in Digimon Ghost Game, as well as taking a quick look at the episode 6 to 9 synopsis. What is up, everybody? Thank you for liking and subscribing and making your parents proud. And yes, today I'm going to be breaking down 10 things you might have missed in Digimon Ghost Game Episode 5, The Divine Anger. Of course, please do watch the episode before you watch this video. There will be full spoilers for this episode and potentially the future of Digimon Ghost Game. Without further ado, let's begin with our 10th missable detail, and that is that Jellymon has been dematerialized. Somewhere between Episode 4 and 5, Hiro finally worked out how to do it, just like Rully can do with Angoramon. I do like that it's like slowly that they're getting to learn how the Digivice V works, how the Digimon partners work and stuff. I think that's really fun. The next missable detail is that we were correct, especially me. I'm gonna take all the credit for it, you guys get nothing. Yes, our prediction, our thoughts that Kyoshiro was being kind of haunted by Jellymon, but specifically, as I said, as a poltergeist, is true. It was a fairly easy prediction, but I love that I specifically used the word poltergeist, and in this episode, Kyoshiro called her a poltergeist. And hey, if you like Digimon Ghost Game, there's no sponsor for this video, but if you like Digimon Ghost Game, if you like me, I know, crazy to think that someone might, and you like my stand, the ability to predict things by accident time after time, you're gonna want to check out this merch. Yes, the karnex time after time merch is officially out. It is my birthday in 2 days if you're watching this on release day. It would be a wonderful present to me if you got yourself a hoodie or a t-shirt or a mug. But this is our second ever piece of merch. I love it. This was designed by the wonderful Aru, and I'm just in love with this kind of like Digimon Ghost Game inspired design that also references one of my favorite memes of this channel, time after time. There is links in the description to go get it either from the UK or US stores. Thank you so much for checking out the merch. Let's continue. Another interesting thing is that when Jellymon first appears, when Kyoshiro first sees her, and indeed when she materializes, she appears as more of a kind of floating jelly head, which I initially thought was her in training form, but no, it's actually something like a kind of float mode. I think that's really interesting that she has this kind of ability to go inside herself and become like a normal jellyfish before the body pops out at the bottom and she pulls her own hat off, if you will. Our next missable detail is that Kyoshiro is a pro gamer. He's feeling in an epic gamer mood because he has one of those kind of like DX racer chairs. He even has these like hexagons on the wall, which I'm pretty sure are LED lights similar to the IRL things called nano leaf lights. And in addition to being a pro gamer, he's also a massive otaku. Jellymon kind of making fun of him for coming back to Japan from being like a prodigy in America just so he can experience the dorm life he loves so much in his anime and manga. And indeed, when it cuts to a shot of his shelf, you can see a bunch of different stuff, which are all kind of made up but are references to different things. He has something that says Mad 1 and Mad 2, and these are a reference to a kind of pre-internet Japanese AMV. They didn't strictly have to be made up from anime, but they would be in a very similar style to the AMVs you might be familiar with on the internet. He also has a DVD or manga which says Dorm Star Star, which is a reference to Lucky Star, a slice of life manga anime. It's been a bunch of different stuff. I just think it's really neat that this like new Digimon protagonist is like a scaredy cat hacker gamer who's also like a massive weeb. Our next detail is that Jellymon indicates that the bandages on his hand are kind of fake, that he doesn't need them, but he almost seems scared of what might happen if they come off. But I do wonder if this is actually setting something up, if he does have something wrong with his hand, or if he at least believes that some sort of power or curse is contained within these bandages. I'd be very curious to see if this pays off at anything significant, or is just kind of a running joke about his bandage. Next we move to Majiramon, who is kind of the big threat of this episode, who comes to sort out the karmic balance of money when it is disrupted. And this is in part a reference to his Digimon reference book listing, which states, one of the Deva Digimon. It is a perfect Digimon with a form resembling the dragon. As a follower of the four holy beast Digimon, Kinlongmon, it is extremely calculating and hates to even lift a finger if it won't benefit itself. However, if it realizes that something will benefit itself, it will want to poke its head in no matter what the thing is. It has a habit of putting a price on everything and expressing serious matters by their cost in money. So yeah, his reference book listing makes him out to be more kind of like a money hungry, kind of like do whatever it takes for the bag kind of guy. But I like that they've kind of interpreted this as being more of a guardian deity of the concept of money. It's definitely very interesting, and I do like that Majiramon was made to be this big Godzilla threat that even like Beetlegamamon had no chance with, and it was only by Kyoshiro eventually sorting things out with the talismans that they stopped at all. I like this recurring theme in this season where it's like, no, you're not just going to get a champion just destroy an ultimate or higher. They are going to have to either find a unique way to get around it or get stronger. Majiramon is also accompanied by Kotalmon, Bitmon, and Goatmon, and this is incredibly interesting to me for a variety of reasons. First of all, these are all Armor Digimon, and you know I adore Armor Digimon. So seeing like 3 Armor Digimon show up in episode 5 of Ghost Game is just like, mwah, mwah, mwah. I don't think there's going to be Armor Digivolving or anything like that, but it's still cool. Secondly, this is kind of a reference to the Chinese Zodiac. While all the Devas are supposed to be a reference to the Chinese Zodiac, this specifically is also a reference with the dragon, the rabbit, the goat, and the snake. But they also didn't just randomly choose these Digimon to go alongside Majiramon, because there is something of kind of an established lore in the background in things like the Hyper Colosseum card game and Digimon Rearise that the Devas specifically digivolve from Armor Digimon. And I believe in Hyper Colosseum he can digivolve specifically from Kotalmon. So super interesting connection there that they're bringing out. I think I really appreciate Ghost Game and even Digimon Adventure 2020 to a degree are really diving into these random parts of the franchise and kind of pulling them and yanking them to the present. Next, I want to thank @Onke-kun on Twitter for doing a lot of the legwork on this and actually understanding a lot of the Japanese that I don't, for breaking down what each of the digital or virtual talismans that Kyoshiro made actually mean. And these are, starting at kind of 12 o'clock on the clock and going clockwise: safe home, long life, avert bad luck, money of course, safe travels, bring good luck, avoid danger, safe birth, which of course Kyoshiro would need. It's a running trend, in fact. I haven't really talked about it too much. That a lot of Kyoshiro's talismans will not apply to him with things like pregnancy and safe birth and stuff, but he has them nonetheless. And finally, success in school, which I guess he wants. A small detail that I liked is that we do see that Jellymon can use both her hands and tentacles as limbs. They're not just flying around loosey-goosey, because we see her hacker typing with her hand, but using her jellified limb to move the mouse around. I just thought that was kind of cool. And our final detail that you might have missed is that when Kyoshiro and Jellymon kind of sync up for the first time and he beams the BB Thunder attack to her, obviously her jellyfish appendage turns into like the Mega Buster from Mega Man, but this is an electrical attack. And okay, kind of spoilers for Jellymon, if you're skipping the OP, you can skip this video now. This whole electricity thunder element ties into her Digivolution, her champion form Tesla Jellymon, which seems to be a lot more electricity themed, and of course is based on the electrical pioneer Nikolai Tesla. But in addition to that, there is something of a trope, in fact it is a TV trope, of the electric jellyfish. I guess the kind of concept of being stung by a jellyfish is hard to convey in visual media, so oftentimes there will kind of be this combination of electricity and jellyfish. In addition to that, there is also a type of jellyfish called the comb jellyfish, which has this really interesting bioluminescence, which looks a lot like a plasma ball that you can touch and see the different electricity or plasma arcing to your finger. So I think there's definitely a lot of different inspirations for Jellymon, all coming together into this kind of electric jellyfish as opposed to like an electric eel, I guess. So that's it for the 10 things, but this video is far from over. If you don't want spoilers, you can check out now, leave me a comment, and I'll see you next time. But we're going to quickly look at the synopses for episodes 6 through 9 of Digimon Ghost Game. These are just synopses, they're not going to have huge spoilers, but something really interesting is in kind of each one of them. So I wanted to talk about these, especially as I'm not planning on doing weekly Ghost Game videos going forward. So I believe this news was broken by With The Will, so thank you With The Will. And the preview for episode 6 at the end of episode 5 did confirm that this is in fact what is happening. Let's just get into these synopses, I'm super excited. So episode 6, The Cursed Song. In a near future where new technology has developed, if you sing a certain song at a karaoke box, something bizarre happens. While you're in the middle of singing that song, someone's eerie singing joins in before something black and mysterious attacks you, the singer. Ruli Tsukiyomo hears about this and drags Hiro Amanokawa and Kyoshiro Higashimi Tarai with her to a karaoke room. They discover that the culprit is Sirenmon, who was once a performance singer in the digital world. While Sirenmon's songs were originally a weapon to her, she learned after coming to the human human world that songs can emotionally move people, and she wanted humans to listen to her songs. Hiro and Co are forced to battle with Sirenmon, who can make musical attacks as they stand up to her in the pseudo-digital world. But so I like this one. This is like a fun episode bringing in karaoke, which of course is a huge pastime in Japan, with Sirenmon, who has been getting cards and stuff in the Digimon card game. I've wanted to see more from, so I'm glad that it's showing up here, and I love kind of turning it into this digital world siren come karaoke terror. But the episode after that, Bird, is the one that I'm really interested in. Something aerial in the shape of a bird is seen throughout various parts of the city. At the same time, a murder of crows appears. Murder is just the term for a group of crows. They're not committing actual murder. And attacks pet shops and private houses. Hero's school and Ruli's friends are among the targeted, and pet birds disappear. What is the mysterious aerial shape that is pulling the strings behind the scenes? And what's more, a strange young man, Daigo, appears to be in a collaborative relationship with that aerial being. What is their goal? As Hiro and Co investigate the spots of the crow attacks, they come to realize Daigo and Co.'s terrible scheme. This is exciting to me. They are naming a kid, a young man, so he may be kind of like an older teenager possibly. There are a few crow Digimon that you can interpret this as being, but there's none that like kind of like pull the strings of crows as far as I'm aware, or birds in general, so I don't want to firmly say. I'm getting 6th Ranger vibes from Daigo, man. It might be that he's just a character of the day. He might not show up again, but this Daigo? Now, there's some people might think it might be Daigo from Digimon Tri. No, it's not going to be. It's going to be a brand new name. It's just a guy called Daigo. Daigo's a fairly common name. I've got this feeling that they've named him specifically and he's doing stuff with Digimon, which is like not something other humans are capable of doing. He's either not a real human and he's actually a Digimon in disguise like Arukenimon and Memimon in 02, or potentially this is that 6th Ranger we've been talking about. I don't know. Maybe a recurring kid who kind of antagonizes them might be a really good way to kind of make things a little less boring in the early stages of this show. Very excited for this Daigo kid, potentially. Then we have episode 8, the Night Parade / Pandemonium. Something mysterious occurs in the Metropolis Expressway. According to eyewitness reports, monsters can be seen racing along the interstates. It came to be called the Night Parade of Demons. Ruli invites Hiro and Kyoshiro to hang out at a racing kart ground, but abruptly a Digimon in a race car appears in the course. The Digimon runs around showily before heading towards the expressway. Hiro and Co learn that the Monster Night Parade appearing on the expressway is the work of Digimon, but what exactly is the reason for it? So again, this could be kind of any Digimon. There's obviously racer Digimon like Macmon and stuff. I also think this is probably a reference to Digimon Racing, which I didn't think I'd see so directly again. We have got cards in the Digimon card game that reference it, and the Macmon episode of Digimon Adventure 2020 kind of references it, but this might be a full-on Ghost Game reference to Digimon Racing, which I am not mentally prepared for. It would actually be kind of funny if it was a Digimon like Devimon or something, because there is a Digimon Grand Prix 3D short film which has Devimon quite predominantly in there. I think that would be nice if they could kind of combine the GP movie or short film with Digimon Racing and whatever other elements they want to do. Again, I have no real idea which Digimon these might be, but such a fun idea to have like basically a Digimon Racing episode in the year of our Lord 2021. And finally, episode 9 is also super exciting, and this is called Twisted Time. Twisted Time after time, am I right? Alright, I'll stop shilling the merch. Hiro begins to mistake time and arrive late, or is about to go to bed when several hours have already gone past without him realizing it. For some reason, only Hiro's sense of time is getting messed up. Ruli and Co invite him to hang out with them at a library in the suburbs as a change of pace. There they meet the knowledgeable Bokomon and their assistant Bakumon, who have arrived in the human world. They learn that it is the Clockmon previously encountered who was messing up Hiro's time. He was taking his revenge on Hiro. When Ruli and Co leave the library, Clockmon attacks Hiro, but just then, the situation takes a sudden turn. So I love this. The return of Clockmon, which is something we've been wanting. We've been wanting to see when these Digimon that have kind of been spared would return and how that would take form. Also, Bokomon from Frontier. We had Nemon in Digimon Adventure 2020. Bokomon's getting some love now, as well as Bakumon or Tapiamon. I wonder if this might be a Gurusgamamon episode. It's possible. It's also possible that it could be like Chaos or Vasion. I don't know if we're going to see a different form besides Beetle Gamamon before episode 9. Episode 9 was bringing us to the start of December. December is when the Angoramon and Jellymon dim cards are releasing. I don't know whether we will see their champion forms debut in show before then, or kind of a couple episodes after, maybe more mid-December. Given the pacing we've had with Gamamon, I'm actually super surprised how few of his other champions we've seen so far, but I have a theory that if Clockmon's back, either Gulus, Gamamon, or one of the other champion forms could be showing up that episode. Regardless, super exciting, and I think going forward I'm probably more likely to talk about synopsis than breakdowns. I do love doing 10 things you missed, but a lot of people aren't watching the same day the episodes come out, aren't able to. Just in general, I feel like there's less interest in kind of Digimon Ghost Game weekly videos, so I definitely like to save them I love talking about this show, but I don't want to push a thing when we could be focusing on so much fun stuff I have, top 10 Armor videos, stuff like that. But these synopses are getting me super excited for the future of Digimon Ghost Game, and I hope we do get these little batches here and there, because I don't mind synopsis spoilers. They definitely don't give away a majority of the episode. But let me know in the comments down below, what missable details did you find in Digimon Ghost Game episode 5? What do you think of these synopses? I'm like super excited for this Daigo Kid and Clockmon's return in particular. I am going to be on the edge of my seat through the rest of November. Any other thoughts you have in the comments down below to potentially get featured on the next one. I want to get this one out quickly today so that we can start focusing on more November videos, but if you do have thoughts, I will try and include them in the future. But we're not going to thank any channel members or bring in comments from episode 4, just because I don't think there was that much missable details in episode 4 really. But if you've got any that you did notice, we'll try and roll them into a live stream or something. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Like I say, please do cop the Time After Time merch. Channel members will be fully thanked in the next video, and I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye bye.